story begins with a man named Ken, who is unemployed and spends most of his time playing video games. One morning, Ken is sitting in his living room playing a game when his wife, Emmy, interrupts him. She tells him there's a strange robot wandering around in their garden and asks what they should do about it. Ken, feeling annoyed, ignores Emmy's concerns and continues to play his game. Emmy then asks Ken about the job interview he went to a few days ago, but Ken doesn't respond and just walks away, heading towards the garden. There, under a tree, he finally sees the robot Emmy was talking about. Ken, curious about the little robot, starts asking it some questions, but the robot doesn't really answer and instead just repeats whatever Ken says. When Ken asks for the robot's name, the robot replies that its name is Tang. Ken, not knowing what to do with the robot, decides to take Tang to a local shop that deals with electronics. At the shop, the owner tells Ken that they can't recycle the robot because it doesn't have a serial number, but they could take it apart and dispose of it in pieces. Ken considers leaving Tang at the shop, feeling that it might be the easiest thing to do. However, as Ken starts to walk away, Tang calls out his name and Ken stops in his tracks. He turns around and sees Tang looking at him with a sad expression. In that moment, Ken and Tang share a meaningful look, filled with emotions. Ken hesitates but eventually says goodbye to Tang and walks away, leaving the robot behind. Ken was heading home, unaware that Tang, the little robot, was quietly following him. Along the way, Ken bumps into his sister. She asks him about the job interview she had recommended to him, but Ken, as usual, avoids the question and just continues on his way without saying anything. Meanwhile, Emmy, Ken's wife, receives a call from the medical center where Ken was supposed to have gone for the interview. Just as the call ends, Ken arrives home, leaving the gate open behind him. Following him closely, Tang sneaks into the house as well. Once inside, Tang scans all the family photos around the house and stores them in his memory. Emmy is busy doing some work in the storage room when Ken approaches her, showing her a tool he found, claiming it could be useful. However, Emmy looks annoyed and confronts him. She says, "I got a call today from the place your sister recommended for your interview. Do you know what they said? They told me you never showed up." Ken, seemingly uninterested, responds with, "I forgot to go," and tries to walk away. Ken often comes across as lazy and dismissive, and this time Emmy doesn't let it slide. She's tired of him constantly ignoring her, so she presses him, asking, "Why didn't you go for the interview? I want a straight answer." As their argument heats up, Emmy suddenly notices Tang standing quietly behind Ken, watching them. Ken is shocked when he sees Tang in the house. He thought he had left Tang at the shop for disposal, so he can't understand why the robot is there. Avoiding the real question of why he didn't go to the interview, Ken tries to distract Emmy by showing her a watch and saying, "Look, you're running late," but the watch is broken and shows the wrong time. Frustrated, Emmy begins fixing the watch and vents her feelings, saying, "What luck do I have? I have to do everything in this house: work, chores, and errands." In her anger, Emmy throws the watch aside and in a burst of frustration, throws Ken out of the house as well. Ken, feeling sorry for himself, ends up sitting at a bus stop with Tang, waiting for the bus. As they sit there, Ken notices something leaking from inside Tang. He takes off his socks and uses them to clean the leaking spot. While doing this, he spots a logo from a company inside Tang. Curious, Ken searches for information about the logo and discovers the company's website, which offers to exchange old robots for new ones. Deciding to trade Tang in, Ken takes the robot to the airport, but Tang causes all sorts of trouble on the plane, annoying Ken even more. To distract himself, Ken turns on the in-flight TV and starts watching cartoons. In one of the cartoon shows, there's a message that says, "Friendship is greater than treasure," which leaves Ken thinking as the scene cuts away. In the next part of the story, Ken and Tang arrive at the company, hoping to exchange Tang for a new robot. However, they find out that the company is closed for the day, so they decide to stay at a nearby hotel overnight. That night, Ken has a troubling dream. In his dream, he sees his father undergoing surgery in a hospital, and all the doctors are looking at Ken, asking him what they should do next. Ken feels overwhelmed and helpless in the dream. Suddenly, Tang accidentally knocks over a cup of coffee, which wakes Ken up abruptly. The following day, Ken brings Tang back to the company to try and exchange him. But when they speak to the staff, Ken is disappointed to learn that Tang is not one of their models, and the company refuses to take him in for exchange. Feeling stuck, Ken watches as Tang starts exploring the company on his own. While Tang is roaming around, he notices some other robots watching him closely, which makes him uneasy. This triggers a memory or alert in Tang, reminding him of an incident where robots were involved in harming humans. At the same time, a guide named Shinji is giving a tour to a group of school children, explaining different things about robots. The children spot Tang, and excited by his cute appearance, they quickly surround him, taking photos from all angles. Meanwhile, Shinji approaches Ken and expresses interest in inspecting Tang, saying, "I'd like to take a closer look at your robot, Tang." You see, Shinji is actually a robot designer, although he sometimes works as a guide. He brings Ken and Tang to his office where where he discovers that inside Tang, there's a glass container filled with yellow fluid. However, the glass has a small crack, causing the fluid to leak. Shinji temporarily fixes the glass, explaining that if it's not repaired, Tang could stop working at any moment. As Shinji works on Tang, he notices something unusual. Tang is playing with a butterfly. This behavior is surprising because it's not normal for a robot to show emotions or curiosity like this. Shinji tells Ken that whoever created Tang probably had limited resources and intended to upgrade the robot in the future. However, they don't know who Tang's creator is. To get Tang properly fixed, Shinji reaches out to a friend named Otsuki, who specializes in robot repairs. Otsuki assures Shinji that she can fix Tang, so Ken takes Tang to the city where Otsuki lives. That night, as they're traveling, two people are seen asking Shinji for Ken and Tang's location, suggesting that someone is looking for them. As Ken and Tang arrive in Otsuki's city, they witness a beautiful fireworks display lighting up the night sky. The fireworks are stunning, but as Tang watches them, he is reminded of a troubling memory where robots are harming people. Frightened, Tang hides behind Ken. Ken thinks Tang is just playing around, not realizing that Tang is actually scared. The true nature of the incident Tang keeps remembering remains a mystery, but it will become clearer later on. Meanwhile, the two men chasing Ken and Tang have also arrived in the city. The next day, Ken takes Tang to meet Otsuki. When Otsuki sees Tang, she hugs the little robot warmly, clearly happy to see him. Ken and Otsuki start talking, but during their conversation, Tang spots a small robot car and, driven by curiosity, begins to follow it. Unbeknownst to him, it was all a trap set by the two men to capture Tang. The men manage to trap Tang in a cage and lock it. One of them makes a phone call saying, "We've caught Tang." While Ken and Otsuki are talking, they notice that Tang is missing. As they search for him, Otsuki spots the car in which Tang is being taken away. Thinking quickly, Otsuki throws her ID card, which has GPS tracking, into the car. Using the ID card's signal, Ken and Otsuki track down the location where Tang has been taken. Meanwhile, Emmy reflects on the day she got promoted and first met Ken. After some time, Emmy calls Ken. Despite being in the middle of rescuing Tang, Ken answers the call. On the call, Emmy tells Ken that she has decided to leave him, saying, "I'm not staying with you anymore. I want a divorce." Ken hesitates but eventually agrees, saying yes to the divorce. After hanging up, Ken is struck with sadness, realizing the gravity of what just happened. They arrive at the location where Tang is being held, and as soon as the door opens, Ken and Otsuki slip inside. They spot the two men who had captured Tang and see Tang locked up in the cage. Seizing the opportunity, Ken and Otsuki quickly move in to free Tang, managing to rescue him successfully. They grab Tang and make a swift exit, escaping from the place together with the little robot. Just then, Dr. Kato arrives on the scene. It turns out that he was the mastermind behind the plan to kidnap Tang, and his companions soon join him. As soon as Dr. Kato sees Tang, he recognizes that Tang was created by Dr. Baba. Kato tries to take Tang with him, but Ken quickly thinks on his feet and starts insulting Tang, calling him useless and other harsh words. Tang, feeling hurt and angry, suddenly releases a burst of warm heat. This surprises Kato's men, causing them to let go of Tang. Seizing the moment, Ken grabs a slim shot and shoots at one of the men, hitting his hand. The shot causes the electric laser the man was holding to drop. Otsuki quickly picks up the laser and uses it, delivering a strong blow to the two men, knocking them unconscious. With the men out of the way, Otsuki stops Dr. Kato, giving Ken the chance to escape with Tang. She tells Ken to take Tang and run. Ken rushes away with Tang, but soon realizes that Tang is overheating badly. He quickly opens Tang up and sees that the yellow fluid inside the glass container is almost empty. As Ken worries about what to do, he suddenly receives a call from Dr. Baba. Dr. Baba thanks Ken for taking care of Tang and reveals that Tang's real name is James. He tells Ken, "Bring Tang to me and I'll fix him." On their way to Dr. Baba, Ken opens up to Tang about his past. He tells Tang about how his father passed away in the hospital because Ken couldn't make a decision about his treatment. He didn't know which medicine to choose. This was also the reason why Ken didn't go to the interview at the medical center. The memory of his father's death had been haunting him. Ken takes Tang to Dr. Baba, who replaces the cracked glass of liquid inside Tang, fixing him completely. As Ken prepares to leave, Tang clings to Ken's legs, as if begging him to stay or take him along. However, Ken gently hands Tang over to Dr. Baba and walks away, feeling sad as he returns home. Meanwhile, Tang is visibly trembling with fear because Dr. Baba is implanting a chip into his body. This chip restores Tang's old memories, and as Tang begins to remember, he becomes even more scared. The reason for Tang's fear will be revealed shortly. On his way home, Ken encounters Dr. Kato, who apologizes for his actions and explains his past connection with Dr. Baba. Kato shows Ken his ID card, revealing that he is actually a researcher. Kato then shares the backstory of Tang, or James, as he was was originally known. Kato explains that he once worked with Dr. Baba on a secret military project to develop advanced AI robots for combat. During a shooting practice, James, one of the robots, started to show fear. Kato urged Dr. Baba to stop the exercise, but Dr. Baba ignored him. James, who was uniquely programmed to understand and emulate human emotions, began to see the other robots as a threat to humans. In an attempt to protect humans, James started attacking the other robots. This caused chaos, with the robots becoming confused and turning on each other. In the crossfire, security guards were also injured. Realizing the severity of the situation, Dr. Baba removed James's chip to prevent further damage, recognizing that James was an advanced and potentially dangerous AI. To cover up the incident, Dr. Baba set the laboratory on fire, intending to destroy the malfunctioning robots and erase evidence of the failed project. He removed the chip from Tang, hoping to use it in future robots. Dr. Baba likely assumed that Tang, without his memories and chip, would be destroyed in the fire. To protect the secrecy of the military project, the incident was reported as an accident, ensuring that few people knew the true story behind Tang and the other robots. Upon hearing Kato's story, Ken immediately takes Kato's car and rushes to Dr. Baba's location, hoping to save Tang. As Ken arrives, he realizes why Tang was so terrified when Dr. Baba was implanting the chip earlier. Tang had seen robots attacking security guards, which made him fear how dangerous robots could be to humans. Tang was scared that if the chip was reinstalled, he might become like those violent robots and harm humans. At the house, Tang is frantically running around, trying to escape Dr. Baba. Ken learns that Baba and Tang are in the basement, so he heads straight there. Baba locks all the doors to trap Tang and Ken inside the basement. Despite the obstacles, Ken manages to force his way in, and a dangerous fight breaks out between him and Dr. Baba. Ken uses a trolley to knock Baba down and tells Tang to escape. However, a robotic hand controlled by Baba grabs Ken's head and slams him against the wall. As Baba is about to kill Ken, Tang intervenes, bravely kicking Baba down. Seizing the chance, Ken grabs the controls for the robotic hand, puts on the gloves, and uses the hand to deliver a powerful punch to Baba, sending him crashing into the wall. Baba falls unconscious, but in the chaos, the robotic hand accidentally knocks over a cupboard, which falls on Tang, causing him to stop working and collapse on the ground. Ken rushes to Tang's side, opens him up, and finds that the glass container holding the vital liquid is broken. Ken quickly replaces the glass, hoping to bring Tang back to life. But Tang remains unresponsive, still not working despite Ken's efforts. Ken is at a loss for what to do next, so he calls Kato for help. Kato tells him that the loose wires in Tang need to be reconnected correctly, but Ken has no idea where to place them. He sees two slots and he's unsure which one is correct. One slot could fix Tang, but if he inserts the wires into the wrong slot, specifically the glass slot, it could damage Tang's entire system. On the call, Kato mentions that only Dr. Baba knows the correct slot for the wires, but Baba is still unconscious. Ken then remembers the moment during his dad's surgery when he felt confused and helpless, unable to make the right decision. He also recalls Tang's words, promising that they would always take care of each other. Driven by this memory, Ken gains the courage to take a risk. He carefully connects the wires and waits anxiously for the outcome. At first, nothing happens. Ken starts to fear that he made a mistake and damaged Tang, becoming overwhelmed with sadness. But after a few tense moments, Tang's systems start to power up, and he comes back to life. However, Tang has lost all his memories and introduces himself to Ken as James. Ken, determined to help Tang remember, gently reminds him of their journey together. As Tang listens, memories slowly start to return. He recalls how he once followed a truck and saw the name Tanigava on it. Due to some faded letters, Tang misread the name as Tang and decided to adopt it as his own. He then wandered around until he eventually ended up at Ken's house where they first met. As these memories flood back, Tang slowly regains his full memory. Both Ken and Tang are overcome with emotion as they realize their bond and everything they've been through. Soon after, the police arrive and arrest Dr. Baba for his actions. With the situation resolved, Ken and Tang head back home together. Meanwhile, Emmy is at their house, finishing her packing. She takes a final look around the house, ready to leave, when Ken and Tang walk in. Tang plays a recording of Ken where he's heard saying that he will return home, start his job, and be there to support his wife. Emmy listens, becoming emotional, realizing that Ken has finally come to his senses. Emmy says, "My husband finally came around, but he did it just in time." Ken, moved by the moment, tells her, "Emmy, I need you. I can't live without you." Tang, ever curious, suddenly says, "Emmy has two hearts in her body. How is that possible?" Emmy then reveals, "I'm pregnant." Hearing this, Ken is overwhelmed with joy and begins to cry tears of happiness. Earlier, Emmy had thought she would have to raise the baby on her own, but now she feels confident that Ken will be a good person and a loving father. They embrace each other tightly, with Ken promising to be there for his family. Tang, overjoyed by the reunion, starts dancing happily around them. And with that, the movie comes to a heartwarming end as Ken, Emmy, and Tang look forward to their new beginning together.
अब आओ ना फिर से मिल जाओ ना फिर से जलाओ ना मुझे मिटाओ ना यूं दिल से अब आओ ना फिर से मिल जाओ ना फिर से जलाओ ना मुझे मिटाओ ना यूं दिल से कोई प्यार ना दे यूं जैसे मुझको चाहती है तू जमाने के जैसी न बन मेरे यार जैसी है तू जमाना जलाता मुझे लगाती गले फिर से तू मैं गिर के उठा हूँ अभी हर चीज सिखाती है तू मैं लिख आया कहानी अपनी जो बीती जिंदगानी अपनी जो खोया मैंने है वो खोया मैं रात जाग के हूँ रोया मैं लिख आया कहानी अपनी जो बीती जिंदगानी अपनी जो खोया मैंने है वो खोया मैं रात जाग के हूँ रोया 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 ख्वाहिश मेरी रह गई तुझसे मिलूं मैं कभी तुझको मैं प्यार दूं और बेशुमार दूं दिल तो जला है बहुत इसकी सजा है बहुत फिर भी तेरा ही रहा मेरी नहीं मानता जितना भी चाहूं तुम्हें मिलना है दर्द मुझे होता है क्या इस तरह कोई भी इश्क यहाँ तुम जो मेरी ना बनी किसको बताता फिरूं ये दाग दिल अपना किसको दिखाता फिरूं वक्त बदलता है सबका तुझको तो इसका पता था फिर मुंह क्यों मोड़ गई थी मुझको यूं छोड़ गई थी साथ निभाना था मैंने दिल भी जलाना था मैंने फिर क्यों मेरी ना बनी थी और ये सजा बन गई थी जिसको मैं जीता रहा था ये दर्द पीता रहा था ऐसी निशानी है तू ऐसी कहानी है तू मैं लिख आया कहानी अपनी जो बीती जिंदगानी अपनी जो खोया मैंने है वो खोया मैं रात जाग के हूँ रोया मैं लिख आया कहानी अपनी जो बीती जिंदगानी अपनी जो खोया मैंने है वो खोया मैं रात जाग के हूँ रोया 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 अब इसके पार है तेरा मेरा ठिकाना अब इसके पार है तेरा मेरा ठिकाना अब इसके पार है फिर तुझसे दिल लगाना अब इसके पार है